How about them tops, son?
All day, SEC boys. SEC, they supposed to be SEC. Crazy all day, baby.
You're listening to the RedOUT podcast.
I am one of your hosts, Devin, and we're getting messages all left and right here because tonight is an exciting night. We've got a big Christmas show for you. Let's see who we can get on the line. And just a heads up, guys, as always, like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, whatever. We got Jared, maybe.
What
Jared.
up? How's it going? Can you hear me?
Going good. Yes, I can hear you just fine.
All right, cool.
We've got Jared on tonight. We've got a special guest. I'm really excited. We got D'Andre Ferby, who actually has his own highlight reel on YouTube, which I thought was really great earlier. I was watching that.
Right there, man. I'll never forget when we had all three of those bags. We had Lightning with Ace Wells, Thunder with D. Ferby, and Lightning and Thunder with Leon Allen.
Let me see if I can get this pulled up real quick, because that was all right. It ain't going to show it. Maybe it's on the other. Somebody did a feed with it, and it was really. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, Alex.
Nice. I actually got my headphones this week.
Nice.
Sounds good.
This is a video on YouTube. I'll post a link later when we do it. Let's see. Let me see if I can get him on quick. But while I'm doing that, Jared, do you want to go ahead and do your winners and losers?
Of course, I would love to, because my winner is the Indiana Pacers. My losers, the Los Angeles Lakers. Fight me, Jake. I don't care. Because, see, the Pacers have been slept on. Well, they're always continually slept on pretty much throughout the regular season. And they broke the Lakers' 14-game winning streak on the road. That's only their fourth loss of the season. And they can use the excuse that they were without Anthony Davis and all of that, but the Pacers haven't had Victor Oladipo since last year. So, I mean, it evens out. It was good. It was a really good game. Came down to the wire, as it usually does. But somehow the Pacers always have a way of kind of getting in LeBron's head, and it showed last night. So that was nice. He was like 0 of 6 from deep, and he missed a bunch of clutch free throws. So I'm just like, that's what you get, bro.
Sounds good. Alex, do you have any winners and losers?
Yes, the winners. My winner would have to be Greg Joseph. The Tennessee Titans just signed him. He used to be on the Cleveland Browns, and he was on the Panthers practice squad, but now we actually got a kicker now. We signed him to a 3-year deal as well, placing Ryan Suckup on injured reserve. So, I mean, silver linings. We actually have a kicker. And the losers will have to be the XFL. I've seen a tweet this morning that said that there are selling jerseys, authentic jerseys for each of their teams for only $225.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow. That's,
I know.
Yeah, only.
Yeah. Let me put that on my Christmas list. Not. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Is that all you got, buddy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm trying to plan on going to a St. Louis Battlehawks home game. So if the jerseys are that expensive, God knows how much the tickets are. Like, if I'm going to pay $225 for a jersey, I need a package where I can call the plays, I can commentate the game during, and like box seats with like the biggest buffet known to man in St. Louis. Like, come on now.
Dude, if you pay $225 for XFL jersey, they'll let you play. I think it's on there. Like, they'll let you
I
play.
don't know if I'd want to play in that league, though.
At least
Fair
play
enough.
like on special teams, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You can be like one of the safeties or something on kick returns.
Hit somebody for no reason. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Jake, do you have any winners and losers?
Yeah, start with the sadness that the Niners seem to pee down their leg late in the season with 5 defensive starters out. But, whatever.
D, we
Life's
got
still
you
good.
on.
What's up?
What's up, D?
How's it going, D. Ferby? Can't hear you just yet, but I got you online, so that's all that matters. Go ahead, Jake.
Gotta
Sorry.
hit that call in. No, so the Niners are my losers because Every time it seems that I tune in to watch, it's like, oh, Pete on our leg time. This is great.
Nice.
This
Nice.
is nice.
Nice.
As far as winners go, WKU men's basketball bench, which we'll get to later, but scoring, getting the victory in a game that doesn't count, pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. You have any more winners and losers?
No,
Okay.
it's been a quiet week, man.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get our guest, D'Andre
Special
Ferby.
guest.
Do you have your winners and losers, buddy? I'm not getting any audio. Let's see what's going on here. So while we're working on that, I'll do my winners and losers. Winners, listeners, because we got our special guest. We got D'Andre Ferby. Once we can figure out how we
I
can
was
get-
totally going to say that, but I knew you would, so I didn't want to steal your thunder.
No, you're good.
Just plan it ahead. We'll pot him up somehow, no worries.
Yeah, we'll get it going. But anyway, and losers, I got a little side story while we're waiting on Ferby. Is the introverts that are out at Christmas shopping.
Oh, yeah.
They, my wife and I, we went Christmas shopping. We wanted to go last Friday, and I was like, "No, it's crazy in town. No, let's just wait."
Oh, you thought waiting would be better?
Well, I thought I'd wait till Saturday morning, so I'd go in. We'd
Okay,
go
yeah.
11 or noon,
Early.
and we'd miss the crowd. Well, that was wrong. So yeah. So
You can
yeah,
just tell, too, because they got their heads down, and they're like just trying to shuffle away.
Yes, completely. I'm going to call him through Facebook, and we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old faithful.
So anyway, while this is ringing really loudly, hey,
So
Ferb,
we want-
how's it going, buddy? Can you hear me? There we go. I got you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I can hear you now. There we go. So we've got D'Andre Ferby on.
Heck yeah.
Thanks
Yes.
for coming
Towel
on, man.
Running Back. Extremely excited. Glad to have you on, buddy.
Oh, man, thank you.
Yeah. So just finishing up my winners and losers real quick, and then we'll see if you've got any. So we went Saturday Christmas shopping, and there was nobody. We thought there wasn't going to be anybody. Well, it was packed everywhere. Ended up going to two places. The second place, we just called it quits and just went home, and I was like, I'll just order everything off Amazon. I'm not fighting this. This is ridiculous. So welcome to the show, Mr. D'Andre Ferby. We'll call you D if you don't mind.
I appreciate it, man.
So do you have any winners and losers?
As far as winners and losers, I go with winners. I'm a Nashville guy, so it's gonna hurt me a little bit. But I gotta go with the Texans, man. That was a big win they pulled out this past weekend against the Titans, man. In Tennessee, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Biggest winners. My biggest loser, he's been the biggest loser for quite some time now, for a couple months going on. It's Antonio Brown, man. He's just not clicking right now. I don't know what's going on, but my biggest loser, he played himself right after the lead.
Yeah, he kind of is, and it's kind of sad. I hate that for him because, I mean, I always loved him when I played him in fantasy football and such.
That's what I was about to say, dude. That dude was so clutch on my fantasy league every year.
And then, of course, you got, watching him on Hard Knocks and, kind of cheering
Right,
for
right.
his comeback story that he had there. And you just hate that for him, but, it's just
Right.
how it goes.
Right.
So while we got you on here, I'm going to ask you a handful of questions right on my papers. So, D, what or who did you think of when you did your when you would truck people in open field? Did you have anybody in particular you thought of?
I guess now, man, since I'm done with ball for the time being, and being just kind of like a little, I guess, just to admit, like I actually hated getting hit. So it was just a matter of just hitting them before they hit me. So that way, the next time I come through the hole, they didn't want to hit me anymore. So it's just a matter of trying to
Preemptive strike. I like that.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I was gonna say, from your highlights, that does not sound anything like what I was seeing, because you were really. I mean, you've even got your own little remix on YouTube called Kid
Man,
Ferb.
that was sweet, man. Somebody sent me that, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, what's going on? I love every bit of it.
That's really funny. Okay, so Matt McKay, who writes for the Towel Rack, and we used to work as support staff. I was a student trainer. He was a manager, and we kind of dealt with the coaching changes and such.
Right.
But how did that affect you as a player?
Right. When you have a coach, where I had Brom, I believe I had him for at least 2 or 3 years. So, you kind of get used to everything, used to, how the coaches coach and, certain things you could probably get away with. It's just a whole culture that you get used to. And so when you're, for my case, when I'm towards the tail end of, just my playing career and everything like that for a switch to happen, it was kind of just like something I had to get used to over the course of time. And I feel like I'm good at adapting. I can't speak for everybody else. But I feel like I adapted, particularly well, I guess you could say. But it's definitely different because you got to get a whole different language to learn, and just everybody gets their own set of rules and everything like that. So it was definitely different, but I believe I adapted the best I could, and it was what it was.
Yeah, I think. From my point of view, I think you did a really great job from going from one to the other.
Right.
So on that, what did you think was? How did you take their styles? Going from Brom to Sanford, what was the styles like?
Right. So with Brom, I believe we loved him we did and it could be because we were winning too. But towards I guess you say it's almost like the peak of the season. Like we stopped wearing pads to practice. It was almost in the sense of just a fast walkthrough, and like it was almost like a player's coach. Like we just we were winning, so it was just like, okay, we're winning. Like let's just take care of our guys and just do the work we got to do. We don't necessarily have to bang every single practice and everything like that. And I believe the players that made us want to keep winning. We're like, and we don't have to wear pads in practice. Like it's beautiful, and he just really looked out for us and everything like that. And when Sanford came in, Sanford brought that. He was a young guy. So it was just a matter of he brought that energy. We didn't have music with Brom in practice, and Sanford brought the music to practice. And they got the guys going a little bit, man. So it was just two different coaching styles and everything like that, to each his own. But I believe we did the best we could.
Yeah, I remember when Taggart was coaching. He enjoyed. We would have warm ups, and that's how you'd warm up. You just have music blasting. And I remember with like Coach Elson. Of course, I'm showing my age, but Coach Elson,
ancient man.
Dude, we had Coach Elson. He blasted Rocky Top the week before we played Tennessee.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
D, that's Devin's favorite song in the world.
Oh, of course.
My goodness!
Yeah.
Look, being from Tennessee, I hear that like every other day, like it's church music. So
bro, that's the worst. So now that you're kind of since you're not playing with Western anymore, obviously since you graduated, who do you cheer for? Do you have a player on the team, or do you just cheer for the program as a whole?
Man, I love the Tide, man. It's just everything that comes with the Tide, just the culture and fans, just especially being on the other side now. It's just I kind of appreciate it even more. And as far as cheering, I cheer just for the football team and sports in general. Obviously, I root for my guys like the Lucky Jackson, Queen Thunders. Even Gage Walkers, who was actually my locker mate, I didn't know he just did a running back. But
nice.
I cheer for them as a whole. I love it. I'll definitely be tuning into the program.
So, kind of on that same note, what were you thinking when Gage got moved to running back?
I was actually in shock. I got the message, kind of like, I guess, the under the table message back in probably around sometime in the spring, like, I was thinking about moving Gage to running back. I'm like, what? I knew he's fast, but I didn't think running back, And, when I saw that first carry he had the first game, I'm like, oh, he's the real deal. Like, he's the real deal. And obviously he fits right into that scheme of Coach Helton and everything like that. So I know exactly what he's seeing in the back. So I'm like, yeah, he's going to really take off in it. So, I'm proud. Now I hit him up like that day after the game, the first game. I'm like, man, you got it, man. You're special, man. Just keep grinding. Obviously he has to learn the ins and outs and everything like that, but he seems like he's doing everything and taking off with it.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I was impressed. I was disappointed because Samuel wasn't getting the start, but like you said, after Gage, he kind of just he shut everybody up. He did.
For real.
So, what do you think of the current coach, Tyson Helton?
I love Coach Helton, man. Like, he was there 2 years with me, so he was the guy who, when Leon went down, and Ace was down as well, he was the one who put the ball in my hand and trusted me. being an 18-year-old guy, that's rare that a coach gives you all that trust, and he did, and he allowed me to go out there and play the best ball. He made me feel confident. I think that's the biggest part with players. It separates the good players from great players is confidence, and when he gave me the confidence, let me know that he believed I could do it. I just really made me, just go to a different level. I felt like, and I had another year as far as I had a 6-year eligible to come back this year. Just with everything that went down, injuries wise, and everything like that, I ended up not doing it. But by me knowing it was Coach Hurton, the head man, I really, really, really took that into consideration, man, all the way down to probably the end of January. But yeah, man, I love Coach Hurton, man. I really do.
I don't blame you. I mean, that would be really hard. I mean, especially when it's Coach Helton coming back, and you're
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, how did the injury affect you your sophomore year? I mean, as far as like your career, your mindset, mindset, all that good stuff.
Right. Man, that injury that one I had my sophomore year, that one kind of hit kind of tough, just because of the time period. I was coming off a quote unquote great freshman year. I had everybody texting me, talking to me about, hey, I'm this and that, blowing my head up or whatnot. But I had a lot of hype coming into that season, preseason don't walk and everything like that. And I've never gotten that much attention. I was a 3-star coming out of high school and everything like that. But it was a lot of hype going that season. And then for the first play to to beat the injury that I had, it was kind of surreal. I'm like, no, it can't be this. When it first happened, I thought I just dislocated my shoulder and I was just popped back in, get back in the game. And a lot of people didn't even know I got hurt because it wasn't like it was a big hit or anything like that. It was just one of those freak accidents. When I had the surgery, they said that injury mostly happens to people who would get in motorcycle accidents. So,
wow.
So it was just one of those freak accidents, man. It just happened. And it took a while for me to really get over the hump as far as the mental factor of the injury because what it was, my SC joint was heading towards my esophagus. So it was one of those things where the crazy thing is we didn't figure that out until 2 weeks after the rehab process. We thought it was just like a bad bruise. And I'm going to play against Alabama. I don't know if you remember, it was 2016. We had Alabama like the next week. And I was going to play that game, so I'm thinking, okay, it's just a bruise, and me being the guy I am, like, I was just bruised, I'll just wrap it up, get a shot for the game, and I'm ready to go. I ended up going in for an MRI, and they showed what it was, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm down for the season, everything like that. But it took a while for my mental factor to get back, really lowering the boom again. It was that mental hump I had to go over, and, I wouldn't take it back for anything because everything that happened in the past, helped set up my future. So, it is what it is. It's something that I got to live with now. So, it was tough. That was a tough injury.
Yeah. I mean, I think the funniest thing I ever heard a player tell me, he's like, if you ever go into medicine or whatever and you have an injury come up like this, he's like, don't tell the player when you go on the field and check them out, don't say, oh, shit, because that's what it said.
Crazy, man. What's crazy is when I went to the sideline, I called ACN, and I believe it was like third down or something. One of my packages. I went in the game, it happened, and I didn't go to the ground or anything, and I'm like, oh, something just happened. I thought I dislocated my shoulder. So I sitting on Ace coming to the game. As soon as I get to the sideline, I collapse. And Brian Snyder, who was our trainer at the time, he lifts like down my shoulder pads a little bit, and he looks at where the injury had occurred at, and he looks at Doc E. was just like, Doc, come over here, and I knew it. I'm like,
He called Doc. Stuff got real.
Yeah, it got real, man. Doc E got to get into it. It's like you got something going on.
Docky and I, the fun story for you, Docky and I were old roomies because when we would go on football trips, they'd always just put the two guy trainers together, so we always got stuck in.
And they still do that, so don't feel bad. They still do that.
I mean, I didn't care. Well, what's funny is Doc he would be out till like 11, 12 o'clock at night, go out with the coaches or whatever, and I'm like the old man sitting in the room because I'm like 20, 21, and he's coming in after midnight, and I'm like, man, shouldn't this be reversed? He was in his 50s or 60s at the time, so I was like that. But okay, let me scroll back down my list here. So what was it like for you winning back-to-back conference championships, 15 and 16?
Yeah, man, it was surreal. Like, 16, obviously I was hurt, so I had to watch from the sideline. But 2015, the year started out special. We knew it was gonna be something special. Coming out 2014, the first bowl win and everything like that. We had a mystique coming into that year, like, this Western team might be pretty good. And that it started off great. We beat Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt, and we just we knew it was something special. And, yeah, and it ended up being that, and having be down in the backfield and everything like that, man. It was a great team chemistry and everything like that. It was definitely great, especially that fan base when we had that Southern Miss game. It was a feeling I'll never. I always remember everything. It was packed. It was a great feeling, man. I can't get them from that.
I'm going to go back to that here in just a minute, but
Yeah.
so the best or funniest prank while you were in the locker room on the hill?
Oh man, so this is back to Bomb. I think it was maybe 2015 or 2016. We're in camp, and we always had this little thing where it was quote unquote we're going, aka we're going to the water park or something like that. And so one day everybody just really thought we were going, and I don't know if Coach Braun put this together or his brother Greg or something like that, who was the player of operation at the time, but all these buses started coming past the field. And, when you're on the field, you can see the street. And so all these big buses start coming past, and we're actually going, all this stuff. And we end up having the longest practice that we ever had during about camp. I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, my God.
That's our best prank ever.
That's pretty good. I'll tell you, one of when I was there, you probably don't remember, but it was Coach Wells.
I remember Coach. I heard a lot about him.
Okay, he's coaching at Eastern now, but he was the offensive line coach, and Coach Mathis was the defensive line coach. We're in team, and those two start yelling back and forth at each other.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they're yelling, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you mind your own business over there?" And he'll yell back, and he's like, "Hey, don't take nothing off those old linemen. They're soft." And he goes, "They're soft. You're soft." And finally, they throw their scripts down or whatever, and they just start running at each other, and then they start throwing punches. And we're all sitting there watching. Holy crap! What is going on? And so, O-line grabs Wells, D-line grabs Mathis. They're yelling and everything, and it was Coach Elson at the time. He's like, "Circle up, chop your feet, pass this, blah, blah, blah. What are y'all doing?" And we're like, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the coaches were fighting. Why are the players chopping their feet? And then all of a sudden, he starts blowing his whistle, and he's like, I gotcha. And we're all like, what the? You're like, what is going on here? But it was funny. But yeah, the water park was always the greatest.
Yeah, man.
And they would tell the student trainers so we wouldn't, fill up water and waste Gatorade and all this.
Right.
But like the first 1 year they told us, and so they're like, don't tell anybody. You can't say anything to anybody. Don't say anything. But we didn't fill up the water boys all the way, and so the players are like, we're going, and I'm like, oh, But yeah, it was always a lot of fun. So, who would you say is your funniest teammate that you had?
Teammate. It was definitely my funniest thing I ever had was definitely Tyler Higbee.
Tyler Higbee, okay.
Tyler Higbee and Tanner Reed played defensive end for us. Them two together, they were probably one of the funniest duos. We always somehow on the same plane, plane seats together, and they would have me laughing the whole back and forth. Man, they were definitely.
I tell you, somebody who I always thought was really funny that probably overlapped was Willie McNeil.
Definitely. Willie was funny too.
Oh my gosh, Willie was great. He would just start yelling at somebody during practice on the sidelines, and you're like, what is he saying? And you're like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, best rivalry, MTSU or Marshall?
Oh man. Okay, I'll be fair to both. Both games had its own little whatever little hate and gets us going, players going, everything like that. But until you actually go to Huntington and actually experience that game, like the way it is, like the fans are right on top of you. It's just it's nothing to top that. Those games there are just, even the year I believe 2017, we weren't even that good. And we went up to Huntington and it's cold, and the fans how they're stadium is set. The fans are right behind you. That energy there was was unbelievable. So I definitely got to go side with Marshall, that Marshall rivalry, but MTSU definitely carries his own way.
So follow up. I know I'm kind of going off script a little bit here.
No,
but,
he's good, man.
So how was it beating them? What was that? Was that 15 when they were number 25? Was that right?
That was 14.
14.
Okay. So
yeah.
So what did you think of that?
That was the one that actually got everything going. I believe they created their own little moonshot throwdown or something like that after that game. Like,
Yep.
It was just we went in, but the thing is, we went into that game knowing that we're gonna beat these guys today. I know they had quarterback's name was C, but he was pretty good and everything. But we just like it was just a feeling that we just knew. And I believe, like I said, that next year of us winning, the conference title, it was just the mentality that the players had at the time. We just knew like 20 years we're gonna beat these guys and we're gonna call it a day. And Braun showing the guts to go ahead and call that 2-point conversion and everything like that. And that's a play that we ran in practice and it would always somewhat happen. Like they would drop the ball somewhere always happen, but it was always open. And so we knew when the play was called, it was gonna work out. And so it was what it was.
Yeah, I mean, and that going to Willie, that was just the greatest thing watching.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just icing on the cake there.
Right.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. I mean, I'm a big MTSU rivalry guy because just going back from our history when I was there, I mean, we just hated MTSU. Locker room sucked. I mean, we had a locker room one time. I mean, it sucked. It was awful.
Yeah.
But every year, like recent history, like I just hate Marshall. I mean, they beat us by like 1 point. Like this past year, they're like, we're taking out the trash when they beat us in football, and I'm just like, you know what? I can't say it on this show right now, but yeah, you guys,
right?
So, is there anything that you're working on that you would like to share?
I mean, right now, man, obviously what I'm working on is being a dad, man. I just had a baby girl back in July, first, man. So I'm really just trying to work it out, trying to see how everything goes on. Still learning every day, man. So just I'm just trying to name London Marie Ferby, man. So I'm trying my best to be the best dad I can for her, man. I'm just trying to learn ins and outs. I know some of y'all probably got some tips for me or something like that, man. So
I was gonna say,
that's really what I'm working on, man. At a good company right now with ACA, so just a matter of me just putting one foot in front of the other and making it happen.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations.
Jake had a little back in May of last year, right? It's May.
This May, yeah. She'll be 7 months soon. So all I can say is sleep when you can, and that's literally and accept help. If anybody's willing to help, take it. Don't because the second you turn it down, you'll be like up at 4. You know how it is. You'll be up at like 4 a.m. with a crying baby, going, "Oh my God, why didn't I let Grandma help?"
Right. It's just having to work in the morning, so it's just like, I know I got a good girlfriend, man. She definitely, I call her Superwoman. She handles it all, man. But every time Grandma calls and wants the best, like, go ahead.
Yeah, come on over, please.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm taking all these notes because I've got a little girl coming in January 31st. So.
Oh, okay, man. Good
and he's hoping for Groundhog Day.
Yes, I am. I am hoping for a Groundhog Baby because I think he's hilarious. So I'll open it up to the other guys if you don't mind, D. Jake, do you have any questions for Ferby?
No, man. You can't. You asked all the questions we had. Just a funny thing. You talked about how, when Coach Brom called that 2-point conversion, you knew somebody was going to be open. You knew it was going to work, and you kind of came to that game knowing you guys were going to win. I heard a couple years ago when Brom took the Purdue job, I think he hired Marshall's running back coach to be part of the squad. And I heard an interview, and I just want to know maybe if there's any truth to this, but when if you heard, when the pregame scuffle, we'll call it, happened, the coach said, when that happened, I knew right then that we had lost that game because the Tops had got in our guys' heads so bad that they couldn't execute. He said, I knew we were going to lose right then. And he's like, and I'm pretty sure Coach Brom did that on purpose.
Right.
And I've always thought, yeah, probably.
Nah, yeah, it's definitely some truth to that. You know, Barkley coached me in 2016. I didn't get to play for him, obviously got hurt first play, but that definitely was something that, it was definitely something he brought up from time to time.
Yeah.
About,
Yeah.
yeah, it set the tone definitely.
Yeah, that whole pregame fight. I mean, it just escalated everything so much.
And it's a great picture of that too. I'm not sure where it's a great picture of like us and like the 50-yard line and them on the other side. It's a great picture.
Alex, do you have any questions for D?
Yes, this is going to be a very off the wall question, but I want it to be very entertaining just because I love this interview and where it's going. Do you have any funny on the road stories, like traveling to different places? Any funny stories?
Yeah, man. So let's see, 2015 when we went to Miami, the bowl game. I think we played South Florida. All right, so Miami is Miami. Like, I don't think I got to disclose what Miami is. So Miami's
Right.
So, everybody, we stayed at the Fountain Blue where all the famous people that you know of stay and go to from time to time. But we're in Miami. We're right on I believe that the bowl community might have set us up. We played South Florida, so I think they were trying to get us some type of event. But our hotel was like right on the strip, like, everything. So everybody is going their own way and this and that. Mind you, we had practice probably at like 8:30 that next morning. So so everybody, it's like 7:30, we're all getting taken. It's only like 2 people in there. Obviously, I'm not in there either. But I get in there. When I finally get in, everybody is just like just fell out. Just all over the floor. We got practice in Miami that this time like 30 minutes. Everybody just laid out and everything like that. It's just like a mini army camp. Like it looks bad. It looks really bad. And you're like, this is supposed to be practicing soon. Like this isn't good. So we get out on the practice field finally, and all of a sudden Ace runs, and all of a sudden it just seems like a straight line come out and just throws up everywhere. I'm like, oh man, this is not good. But the team that we were that year, man, we came to put it together and got us a good bowl with it, so it was all good.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That is so hilarious. Miami will definitely do that to you.
Oh my
It
god,
definitely will, man. It was great. It was great.
Jared, go ahead. Do you have any questions for D?
Yeah, I got one. Going back to the first Conference USA title in 2015 and everything. Like, I was a student, that was my senior year, and I remember rushing the field and everything, and just how wild that was from a fan experience. Because, I mean, I'm like 5'4" and 120 pounds, and here I am with all these big football players. I was standing next to George Fant and everything.
Yeah.
From a player perspective, what's it like when you're out there celebrating with everybody, and then all of these people are just kind of coming up to you and everything?
Yeah. I have pictures to this day with people I have no idea who they are. They'll send my DMs on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are. But it was just everybody was coming from everywhere. People were jumping off the hill and everything like that. It was definitely surreal, man. And we just wanted to give that to Bowling Green. I believe that I'm so glad it's in Bowling Green and everybody got to scream. It ended up being the same thing the next year, but it was just a surreal feeling knowing that we made history as the first team in the conference championship and everything. It was just surreal. And seeing everybody the support we had from that long season and everything like that, it was definitely great. I believe a couple helmets got stolen on that day.
Oh, come on, guys.
Like, man, what's going on with it? They took the helmets. We don't know where they're at. Somebody out there got some 2015 edition conference championship helmets, so somewhere out there.
Yeah, you check eBay for that one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So yeah, that reminds me of Jake's story. Since
Oh, yeah.
we don't have a lot of sports news today, but there was signing day, but still. Yeah, Jake, you want to cover that real quick?
Yeah, it was so me and my buddy went, and we were all excited, and we had just graduated like in 2014, and it was we were having a good time. We kind of snuck in the student section. That was the first year they had the big WKU flag, and he had a pretty good job. I was still in school, so he was like, "Hey man, I got you covered for the frosty wheat sodas," and so needless to say, by the end of the game, we're feeling real good, and so we obviously we jumped over, we get on the field, we're screaming one more time, everything's going great, And then he looks at me, and he's a lot, I'm like Jared, I'm a little dude, I'm like 5'6", and he's a lot taller than me, 6 foot, whatever. And he looks at me and goes, "Let's go in the locker room." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He goes, "Follow me." And I'm like, "I can't." And so I just grab his, after we got pictures like Brom and I think maybe Lamp, we got a couple good pictures. And so I've got a hold of his jacket, and we just, because you know how it is, man, when everybody's going into the locker room, you got family, you got the best friends, you got all you guys just going down the tunnel, and nobody's really paying attention. Everybody's just happy. And so we get in the locker room, and I'm like, "Dude, what are we doing?" and again, we're feeling good, we're happy. And so we start getting pictures with guys. I got a picture with Brandon, with Brandon Dowdy, and then a bunch of the players. Again, I don't remember who. I still got the picture. We're like, "Hey man, can you take our picture?" I was like, "Yeah." So I'm like taking pictures of the players for them, and then right after the selfie with Dowdy, I don't know if it was a trainer or a handler, whoever it was, came up to Brandon and was like, "Hey, are these your people?" He's like, "No, man, these ain't my people." And so then we were kindly asked to, go ahead and get out of there. But I'll remember that forever, as much as you can through the haze. But just talking to Jared, like that was kind of wild. It was like, what has happened, dude? It's like, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
As long as you didn't take any helmets on your way out.
See, I did not steal any helmets. That y'all would have known that. No, we weren't in any train of thought to take any helmets. To be honest with you, there were two big dudes telling us to leave. So we're like, "All right, we got our pictures. We're good. See y'all."
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, Jake, don't you have 2 helmets sitting on your mantle?
Yeah, for sure.
So, some big news. We're going to go ahead and move on. Signing day today. Big day for a lot of Western future Hilltoppers. We've got 15 signees thus far. Some of them are going to sign early, and they're going to come on up to the hill. Noah Whittingley, running back, 5'10", 195 from Georgia. Mitchell Tinsley, wide receiver from Missouri, Lee Summit. Darius Shipp, he's coming on up too. He's a defensive tackle. Let's see. Desmond, I'm going to say it's Desmond. I'm going to probably screw up a bunch of names here.
Probably.
Desmond Robertson, thanks, Jerry. Spencer Owens, he's tight end, about 6'4". He's from Lakewood, California. This is the one that's going to get me. This is the one. David Ndukwe.
Ndukwe?
Is that it? Did I say it right?
I think so. Ndukwe? Yeah.
Yes, good. Finally, that was the one I was like practicing it before the show. Colt Jackson is another one, and Nicholas Days. Those are all, and Talik Allen is going to come early. Other than that, we got John Blunt, Craig Burt, Travis Collier, Mark Good, Wesley Horton, Grady Robinson, Darius. No, I already said Darius. Sorry. So that's everybody that's signed today. We're expecting some more transfers, all that good stuff. So we got those guys to look forward to in the spring. So, D, what do you think as far as like JUCOs being signed? Do you like that? Do you not like that? What do you think?
Man, I like it, man. I don't feel like we had enough of that. The last 2 years, at Western, we didn't have enough JUCO guys. JUCO guys, they're usually the guys who come in and play pretty early. I know when I was there, we had I forgot his name. Omarius Bryant, kind of Omar, 6'6" Omar, a couple other guys there. But JUCO guys usually come in there already, strong bodies already and everything like that. And plus, I like the early guys who come in early because you get a jump start on everything. I really like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say everybody because there's always an exception. But I feel like some JUCOs work harder than some kids that just sign and come to Western. Does that make sense?
No, most definitely. I mean, if you watch the show with him, things like JUCO, and the stories I heard about the JUCO guys, they work hard, but they're not trying to go back to where they were. Like it's rough in the JUCO. Like so, when they finally make it to the Division I program, they just give it their all. You can definitely see it in the eyes when they're out.
So I'm taking it that you've watched. It's not Hard Knocks. What is it?
Last Chance U.
Last Chance U.
Yes, Last Chance U. So have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So what do you think of? Is it Coach Brown? Isn't that the latest one?
Yeah, that's him.
So what do you think of him?
I mean, it just depends on what kind of player you are, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if I was playing for him, I feel like it would have its good and bad days where I'm like, okay, coach, cool. And then some days you're just like, all right, man, you make me mad. So I don't know, man. It just depends on what kind of mood about being. Sometimes he goes overboard. I don't want to say sometimes. I say 99.9% of the time he goes overboard. But it is what it is. He was winning, so I mean, hey.
Yeah. So, well, spoiler alert, he got fired. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in case y'all haven't watched.
Spoiler alert for everybody listening. So if you had to choose between Coach Brown and Buddy Stevens, who would you go to?
Oh my God, that's like a lose play. I'm gonna go with Coach. Man, I go with Coach Brown. I'll do it just because the mood I'm in tomorrow might be different, but yeah, put it like that.
Okay. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I don't. That's my thing. That's a tough call because I think Buddy Stevens. I think he's a hard ass.
Yeah.
PG-13 here. I think he's hard, but like Coach Brown, I don't know. I don't. He's one of those you're just like I don't know.
I don't know.
And plus the counselor that was at East Mississippi or whatever it is, she was pretty cute.
Yeah.
For an older, well, I won't say older. I guess she's
most definitely.
She's like 5 years older than me, but she's she's pretty nice for that age. But anyway,
yeah, I'm going to class every day.
My wife's not home yet, so I can say that stuff right now.
Right? Yeah, exactly. She doesn't listen. It's fine.
Oh, she listens. When she comes home early,
okay. Well.
Downstairs, she hears everything I say, and then I get a report afterward. Like, why did you do that? And I'm like, okay, all right. So we'll go over to women's basketball real quick. The Lady Tops are going to play they played Sanford on the 15th. They won 88-84. Great job. And just so you know, it is like nearly impossible to find stats for women's basketball games. But Creech, yes, they did. Creech had 26 points, 10 for 10 field goals, and 4 of 5 free throws. And the guard Myers had 20 points, 8 of 14 for Sanford. Western did pretty good. Shot about 40% from 3, 56% from the field, and had 13 turnovers, 2 less than Sanford. And they had 2 less rebounds than Sanford. So, a little work there. But, I mean, all in all, I'll take the W.
Always.
Yes. So what did you all think? Jared, did you watch the game? Did you?
I didn't get to see it. I got to see the men's exhibition last night a little bit. I was watching my Pacers beat up on the Lakers a little bit. So that's kind of what I was doing.
Did anybody watch?
If Matt was on here, he would. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Matt was on here, we'd be good, but no. Looks like Sanford is 3-9 for the year. They're 1-3. But I don't think they're a great team. I think they're all right as far as Sanford's concerned. But Western just they put in the work. They won. Then they played Purdue on the 18th, which was earlier today. Yes. Yeah. They played them earlier today and lost 67-50. That's not a bad effort in my mind. The girls, they shot 34% from the field, shot 23% from 3 points. They had less turnovers this game at 17, and they had way less rebounds. Purdue had 44 rebounds, and the Tops had 28. So to me, that looks like they weren't even going up after it. So Purdue was really putting in the work there. So we're going to skip on to men's basketball. The Lady Tops play again on the 2nd of January, so we will get to watch them next decade. They played North Texas.
Right.
Slid that dad joke in there just for the fun of it.
Got to practice, man. Very important.
Thank you. They play North Texas, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Then they play Rice on the 4th at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. And I can't find that game if it's televised, so it may be on like the IGN Sports Network or whatever for you all want to listen. And they play again on the 9th. They play UAB. 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm assuming 11 a.m. Central on ESPN Plus, so you can check that game out. For those of you who are off and get to enjoy basketball games. So let's go back to football because that's what I really want to talk about. So Western's going to be playing in the Servpro First Responders Bowl. The FPI is favoring Western Michigan 55.9.
Really?
Which is hilarious to me, yeah, because the spread has been at 3.5.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't either. I don't know if they just don't know anything about either one of the
Maybe
Western.
they clicked on the wrong Western. I think that's what they did.
Yeah,
Probably like Western Illinois or something.
Okay. So, Jake, what do you think of the Western Michigan? What do you think? How do you think the Tops are going to fare going into this game?
I mean, they have surprised me all year long, so I am now just in the tank. Like, go absolutely just obliterate them, man. I would have loved to have seen a more exciting matchup, but, I mean, D could talk about this. Like, you still get hyped. It's a bowl game that Western now has had some, but, not historically. And this was a team that we didn't know what they were going to do, and they come out and surprise everybody. So get the guys some reps, go get a win, and let's use this to build momentum into a 10-win season next year.
Right.
So, Jared, what do you think as far as this game? I'll let you answer real quick while I'm Googling something.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Western Michigan, I don't know why they would really be favored in this at all. Their most impressive win they had was against Central Michigan, which was the winner of the MAC, and they did all right. But, I mean, just looking at the competition that we've had versus what they've had is definitely a lot different. Western's had a lot tougher schedule going up against teams like Marshall, FAU. I mean, all of those teams, of course, obliterating an SEC team on the road. That definitely helps.
So good.
Yeah, and I just think that it might be kind of a close game. I mean, you never know what can happen in a bowl game, but I still think that they're going to show up with the right mindset, and I think that they're going to try to take all this momentum and end on a good note, especially against a team like Western Michigan. I mean, they'll show up for it, I feel like.
So I'm going to come to you in a minute, Alex. I haven't forgot about you. But
You're good.
I'm going to go to D real quick. D, you were there from 14 to 18, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so you had Central Michigan, you had South Florida, Memphis, and then Georgia State. What is, as a player's point of view, when you go from a Central Michigan, South Florida, who's kind of like a mid-major, to Georgia State, what do you, as a player, can you get up as hyped as you would playing somebody like that, or is it just kind of let's just go here?
Right. I think the South Florida, they had a co-starter running back at the time, Marlon Mack. I think Memphis. I don't think they had Paxton Lynch then, but they had. I think they had some pretty good players. I had Anthony Miller with the Bears now, so they had some pretty good players then. So going from those games to a Georgia State, I think it was just the mentality of the team. We were dead even. I believe we were 6-6 or something like that. So we were all dead even. So it was just a matter of we just wanted a bowl game. So by just being a bowl game period, we definitely got up for it. And we wanted to win that game. Obviously, we came up short and everything like that. So. It just depends on everything like that. I feel like this team here, they've kind of been doubted the whole year, by everybody. It's just I feel like they want to solidify this season and regardless of who it is, and they just want to go out there and play top football. So I believe they will go out there and be hyped, just as hyped if they were playing FSU, who I thought they might end up being the matchup. But I respect Western Michigan. I believe it's probably going to be a heck of a game. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So kind of going back to the team and stuff, with Ty Story coming in, with Stephen Duncan getting hurt, let me think about my question. I'll go to Alex real quick while I'm working this out of my head. Alex, what do you think, buddy?
I think it's going to go in our favor. Some quick stats about Western Michigan that I pulled up via Sports Reference. They are 25th in the country in points a game, 34.2. They have a 7-5 record, 5-3 record in the MAC. And for their offense, it's kind of touch and go. They have a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball. Mainly their top rusher, Levante Bellamy. Already he has close to 1,500 all-purpose yards and 23 touchdowns. So He's out with currently he's questionable with a knee injury, so it's unclear if he's going to play against Western in the ball game or not. That's something to look up. Their passing, I mean, it's kind of not the greatest. John Wessink.
Nice ask me. It's not the greatest.
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with this offensive system. Like John Wessink, John Wessink. It's got a weird last name. 2,900 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions with a 138.7 rating. One guy that I'm gonna do some more scouting on. It seems like a really good player is on their defense. His name is Treshaun Howard. 132 total tackles, 11 for loss, and 4.5 sacks. So if we can keep Hayward at bay with the offensive line, I feel like we're going to do pretty good. I feel like it's going to go 30 points in our favor.
As long as they don't have Corey Davis, I think we got a shot.
Yeah, we are
for
playing. We are playing Corey Davis.
Yes. I will say, if you look on ESPN's website, under Western Michigan, it's got their schedule and all that good stuff. But one of the videos it has, the top video is Ohio lineman lines up at wide receiver, does a cartwheel mid-play.
Oh, I remember
Oh, yeah,
that.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
That's
like,
wild.
But I'm just kind of going through their schedule. But so D, were you surprised at how well Ty Story played? I guess him being a transfer from the SEC, but still, were you surprised at how well he did?
I was just really surprised how fast he picked up on Helton's offense. Helton's offense isn't the easiest thing to just, come in and just go ahead and go berserk like he did. And he came in after Stephen got dunked, after Stephen Duncan got hurt, which I sent my condolences to him. He'll come back strong. But once he came in, and he just, took it as if he'd been there for 3 years. And he added another, a running back. I was surprised the most. I knew he'd probably throw the ball playing in the SEC. I was surprised the most at his mobility and how he was a running quarterback. I I was really surprised by that. He added a whole different element along with Gage out there. He opened up the whole offense by his mobility.
Yeah, I think so too. I completely agree with you. I hope Stephen Duncan gets better. But the only thing I saw him on the sidelines with his little scooter. I really wish he had like one of those Walmart scooters, like the real bad ones, so you had to go play. But going back to the schedule for Western Michigan, they played Michigan State. They lost to them. They lost to Syracuse, lost to Toledo, lost to Eastern Michigan. I'm assuming that's who that is. And they lost to Northern Illinois. As far as our resume is concerned, we lost to Central Arkansas, so we can't really say much there. But
that's the beginning of the year, though. A lot changed since that game. I'll put it that way.
Literally.
Completely agree. And I wasn't in the get on the lifeboats ship whenever, or I wasn't in, bailing, whenever they lost to Central Arkansas, because you have to learn the system. These guys got to learn the system. However, going from Sanford to Helton, however it was, those games they got blew out in. So there's 50-point losses. The Eastern Michigan they lost by like 7. Toledo they lost by like 8-ish. 7, I'm sorry. I can't count. And Northern Illinois, they lost by 3. But, their other games, they're winning 48-13, 57-10, 31-15. So, to me, it seems, without watching film on this team, that they are a very high-powered offense, maybe not as high-powered defense. So I'm expecting something similar to like an FAU. I don't know. Jared, do you agree with this? Or what do you think, buddy?
No, I kind of feel the same way. I get what you're saying for sure. I would be lying if I said I saw a single Western Michigan game this year. I just keep up with Conference USA. I'm not really big into the MAC and everything, and they didn't really have too many dominant teams outside of Central Michigan who did pretty solid. But, I haven't been able to look at any footage of them, but I still don't want to sleep on them and everything. So I think they'll still show up for it, regardless of who it is, whether it's Western Michigan or Michigan.
I completely agree. I think Ferby kind of covered it earlier when he said that this team's going to show up. They've got to prove us wrong. I was one of those that said, we'd be lucky to go 5-7 this year, and they blew that out of the water a long time ago, and I was extremely happy when they did. I love it when the guys prove me wrong. I am fine with eating crow pie. But as far as like Western Michigan stats, they're averaging about 457 yards per game. So to me, that sounds like an FAU team. Just like a high-powered offense, not as strong as their defense isn't as strong. They're allowing 414 yards per game, and of course that can be blown up a little bit with with their teams they face. The Michigan State, yada 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 yada. So Alex, what do you think going into this game?
I feel like it's going to be an offensive game where we're just going to come out swinging, get the lead in early, and then defense is going to take care of things. I really feel like D'Angelo Malone is going to stand out this game.
I think so too. I think that kid, a young man, I should say, he has just had an amazing season this season with getting the defensive touchdown. I mean, all the sacks he's been getting. Ferby, I'm just glad you didn't line up against him. That's all I got to say.
Man, he's special. Like when he first came in, I thought he was a JUCO guy, and they were like, "No, he's 17, 18." I'm like, "No way, don't lie to me." I knew he was gonna be special. I was honestly be surprised. He definitely had a great year, man. I would be surprised if next year if he's not going high in the NFL draft because he's athletic, man. He's a monster.
I agree, and kind of something I was talking about last week, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, is that I wish that football would allow for young athletes, playing in college, whatever, to go to the draft, and if they get undrafted, they can come back to college.
Right. I agree. I mean, it's like that for some sports.
Baseball's like that.
Yeah.
I think basketball they can go to the
they
can get checked out and everything like that. But
that's what Charles did.
Yes,
I
agree.
Did. I agree. Because in that case, I think D'Angelo, he definitely go ahead and try to see what's going on because the guy is Sherfield. I watch a lot of football and everything like that. And I mean, he's right up there. You put him on any other team, they might not be able to watch a lot of wrestling games. You put him on any other team around the country, and he'll definitely be noticed.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, D'Angelo Malone's done an amazing job. And I mean Gage Walker too. But so let me ask you this: do you think Gage Walker should go to the draft this year, or should he wait and kind of build his kind of running back resume for one more year?
Yeah, he'll probably stay. I believe he'll stay, for another year to see what's going on and everything like that. But he definitely he's made a name for himself. I mean, it's only just a matter of him just learning the kinks as far as pass protection and everything like that. He has the speed, he has the elite speed. I'll put it like that. It's just a matter of him, just learning the ins and outs, and just continue to build on what he did this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I don't want to undercut what he's done, but do you see anything that he could work on?
As far as, like I said, it's just knowing the keys. The biggest thing is everybody can. I won't say everybody, but it's easy to go out there and run the ball and run that. That's what you do. It's just a matter of learning the other things, but that the scouts really pay attention to the pass protection and your route running and being able to win your one-on-one in passing on playing routes. Those things are really important. It's just those little things. Most importantly, like I said, pass protection is really on that.
Yeah, completely agree. So we're going to scoot over to men's basketball real quick, which is not my fourth AD. I'm not going to lie. But on the 21st, the men play Rhode Island, which, fun fact, I think there's like 5 counties in Rhode Island. That's it. There's only 5 because it's so small. But Rhode Island is actually favored 66.5 in their BPI, which, again, it seems kind of high to me. Just saying. I don't know how good Rhode Island is. Alex, do you know anything about Rhode Island?
I'm trying to look them up right now. I do know that they play in the Atlantic 10, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Sure. Yeah. See, you and I are about the same. I don't watch basketball that much. I watch Western, and that's about it. Rhode Island is actually first in the Atlantic 10.
So they're favored to win the conference.
Yeah, they lost to Maryland, who was number 7. Let's see who else. they really don't have a lot of big wins under their belt. They beat North Texas. They beat Alabama, which that's not saying much either. It's not football; it's basketball. They've got us, and then they play MTSU the following week. So, we'll see. We'll talk about them in 2 weeks because we're going to take next week off, obviously, with it being Christmas. But Rhode Island is 6-3 for the year, 5-0 at home. Of course, Charles Bassey's our leading scorer. He's out for the year. They've got a Russell. See if it'll rebounds. Obviously, they got Charles Bassey. Again, he's out. They got Langvine and assists Russell. And we got Hollinsworth, finally. I figured we'd have Bassey again for assists. But, yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. Western's averaging about 80 points a game. They're averaging 74. Brett is telling me that in the press conference they said they are very tough and will be a tough hustle. Yeah, I'm sure that they wrote up a little article about that on the Towel Rack, but I haven't had time to check that out today. I agree. I think they are going to be a tough team. So, D, I'll get you back in here. Did you go to a lot of basketball games when you were at Western?
I did, man. Actually, that's like my first love. Man. That's what I thought I was going to go to college to play. So, I definitely, I used to be impressed all the time, thinking I was still that guy, but I definitely was not. But I enjoyed going to the basketball games. Huh?
Yeah, I remember. Fun story for you. I'm not going to mention any names so that they're not going to get in trouble now. But there was some football guys I remember when I was in college, and they would sneak into the basketball games, and we would have to do something. Have to go to fiddle to do this or do that, and you pop your head in and look, and there'd be like 5 or 6 of the Western football players sitting up in the rafters, and I'm like, I know they didn't pay. They just snuck in. Everybody knew the code to get in the back door diddle, so it's all good. Alex,
Yes.
what do you think? How do you think Western's going to do against Rhode Island?
I feel like it's going to be a tough game, but I really feel like with the depth, I watched a little bit of the K-Dub game last night, and without Bazzi, our depth is really going to shake up and wake up some people. With Gambrel, Rawls, Horton especially. I feel like Horton is going to break out with the opportunities given. He's going to continue that shift. He looked really good yesterday, him and Gambrel both. So I feel like depth is going to be the huge issue going forward. So I actually like our chances against Rhode Island. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where it's you wouldn't expect to have a good performance, but keep the turnover ratio under control, and I feel like we're going to do fine with this game.
So speaking of the exhibition, before I forget, so obviously, Alex, you watched. So was there a worry that we were going to lose that one? What did you think?
Against Kentucky Wesleyan?
Yes.
No, not at all. It's Kentucky Wesleyan. Come on now. I think the biggest shock in the game would be we would be winning up 10 points or something.
Well, I was trying to follow along, and Jared actually posted on our little group message thing that he's like, if even if Western loses, I'm floating on cloud 9 with the Pacers win. So I was like, part of me's going, was there a worry? Were we going to lose that one? What's going on?
I feel like the biggest worry was okay, how this was the first game without Bazzi. So I think more concern was how is the team looking forward, post Charles Bazzi. So Rhode Island and Belmont obviously are going to be the 2 biggest tests, but it's nice to get an exhibition win regardless. I hope it's nice, but
yeah, completely agree. D, what advice would you give Charles if you could tell him, going into this injury, what would you say to him?
Man, it's just a matter of keeping your head up and just trusting the doctors and the trainers. And don't try to be impatient. I think the biggest thing with us athletes, once we get hurt, we just think, okay, we can bounce right back and get right back into it. But it's just a matter of just taking his time, man. And he has a great support system. With his family and also just the Western family as a whole. He'll come right back strong. I hated I saw the injury. I saw it. It looked gross. I was hoping for the best. But things happen. All these sports we play have 100% injury rate, so it's just a matter of him just staying focused. Knowing who he is within himself, and then when he comes back, it comes back strong. I know he will.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Charles is going to be fun. I think Mike Gaddy is still the trainer there. He's a great guy. Does a great job working with the doctors. I think Dr. Beard finally retired, so that's been a few years. But yeah, but Gaddy will take great care of him, I'm sure. It's like you said. You got to keep your head up. Keep everything going 100. And what I'm trying to get to is there was a football player at Western. His name was Dusty Bear. He'll love it that I'm talking about him. But he probably had the most tattoos of anybody I ever saw. He played defensive line. Dusty broke his ankle. So hopefully I'm out of HIPAA liability here. But anyway, he broke his ankle, the outside of the bone. I think he chipped it. He ended up coming back in 2 weeks. Yeah, he came back in 2 weeks. And what he did was he contributed to basically him sleeping in the training room 24/7.
Right.
Which, and I kid you not, he would go to lunch with the head trainer, the head football trainer at that time. They would just go to lunch, and he'd go out and then he'd go back to the training room and just keep doing treatment. And the second thing that he attributed it to was albino owl poop. Yeah, yeah. I don't heard of that. I was just when he said that, I went, what? Albino owl poop. Okay. So Western's going to play Rhode Island on the 21st. They're going to play Belmont on the 28th. I don't think we're going to have a lot to worry about with Belmont, but we'll talk about that on January 1st, which will actually be our next show, just so everybody knows. But we're going to get to something real quick here at the end of the show. Hated Christmas movies. I'll let you go first, D, or I'll let Alex go first. That way, so D kind of gets the format. Alex, do you have any Christmas movies that you just hate?
Yes, and it's actually a decent Christmas movie. I just hate how blown up it is, like via social media and just pop culture wise. I'm about to give it to Elf.
Oh man,
I love Elf. Just so you know,
it's actually a decent movie, but at the same time, I guess like social media kind of just ruined it for me. I'm just like, okay, like. Out of all the Christmas movies, okay, I can understand A Christmas Story or Home Alone even, but I mean, just at the time, it was great, but now as I get older, I'm just like, okay, this was not one of Will Ferrell's, and I'm a Will Ferrell guy. This is not one of his best performances. Like, I would just go back and say, like, you know what, that's his top 5 role. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't do that.
I will say I'm a huge Step Brothers fan, and I love Elf. There are so many great memes out there with Elf, but yeah, I can kind of see your point. Do you have any more?
No, I'm actually good with that with Elf. I mean, I'm kind of untraditional when it comes to Christmas movies. Like, I only watch A Christmas Story, obviously, with like my aunt. It's like a big tradition for her. And also, to kind of throw in a lost favorite, All of the Other Reindeer. It is a campy, corny Christmas movie, but that came out when I was a kid, and it's about this dog who wants to be a reindeer for Santa Claus, and it was just like, man, I love that movie so much. Like, I've been trying to get the DVD. It's actually pretty funny. It's actually cool. It's like just Drew Barrymore was the voice of the dog.
Okay. I'll have to look into that. That's pretty funny.
Yes.
So D, do you have any hated Christmas movies? Like, just turn it off as soon as it comes on.
Wow. I mean, I typically, I like Christmas movies, man. I can't really think of the top of my head just something that I just really just dislike, I mean, as far as Elf, it kind of hurt me. I actually just watched that yesterday. I love Elf, man. But I mean, I can kind of see where it comes from, it kind of comes off as really cheesy, I guess you could say, but I'm a Christmas movie guy, man. I'm my favorite one. I'll give you my favorite. My favorite is definitely Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yeah, I like Alone. I can't argue there. Sorry, I just got, sorry. Yeah, but anyway, first off, I do not like any Christmas Hallmark movies. I don't know if that's just exposure, but I just not a big fan of the Christmas Hallmarks. I love the meme that's going around Facebook and stuff that's like, what is, 15 people, 4 writers, and, 300 different towns. It's a Hallmark movie. So, but on my list, the first one I've got is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey.
Really?
I just don't like it. I mean,
Really?
I actually, it's not bad concerning the story, but I'm just not a fan of Jim Carrey in that movie. I saw, actually, D, when your daughter gets a little older, the Grinch that's on Netflix, I think is much better.
Is that
like
the part 2?
It's kind of animated. It's
Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. I saw it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, and I like that one much better because maybe it's just because I'm a dog person, but with Jim Carrey, he just kind of loathes the dog. But in that one, like, he has genuine feelings for the dog.
Okay,
Maybe that's just me. Bad Santa, didn't like. Not a fan of Bad Santa.
Love Bad Santa.
One more time, D.
I said neither of the Bad Santas.
Yeah, well, I didn't know there was a second one.
Yeah,
but, yeah, just not the first one. I'll have to check out the second one, but I haven't seen. Yeah, I'm not a fan of A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. I like Jim Carrey, but I just didn't like that one. I don't know what that was. Now I like Scrooged with Bill Murray. That was a great one.
Yeah.
And finally, movies that have a Christmas backdrop and get lumped in as a Christmas movie. So I'm going to get a lot of hate from this, but Die Hard I don't think is a Christmas movie. Oh,
I will actually agree with you there. Like, I mean, it's
really not though. It's not.
No, it's not. And I just the oof. I was like, oh man, I really struck a nerve with D. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just don't think it is. Alex, you don't think it is either?
yeah, I don't think it is. Like, it's just strictly an action movie, unless it was like Santa Claus is going gung ho in a mall or something. Like, it does not count as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I don't think Bruce Willis as Santa Claus fighting in the Nakatomi Plaza really counts. But Gremlins for me is another one that I just like. That's not really Christmas, and it gets lumped in as a Christmas movie. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. But y'all may agree, disagree, and that's you can comment and let us know what you think. But next week, like I said, is Christmas, so we won't be here, or we won't be on the air next week. We will take a week off. We will be back on January 1st, which is a Wednesday. It's the first of the year. Like I said, you can check out. Let me ruffle my papers real quick. The women play on the 2nd, the 4th, the 9th, 7 p.m. on the 2nd, 2 p.m. on the 4th, and 11 a.m. on the 9th. Football is, crap, that's the 20th, isn't it? That's in 2 days?
28th?
28th, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on a Saturday.
Yes. Sorry about that.
There you go.
No, 30th. It's the 30th.
Oh, I thought it was the 28th for some reason. It's still on a Saturday, though, right?
That is a Monday.
Yeah, it's during the week, and I was like, I'm getting work on this shit.
So
Oh.
obviously D's not gonna make it.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm the same way, buddy. But it is gonna be on ESPN. It's 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So you can be like the rest of us, D, and be like checking your phone and be like, "What's going on?"
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Men's basketball plays again 21st and the 28th. That's where you got the 28th, Alex.
Okay.
2 p.m. for Rhode Island Eastern and 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the Belmont game. But again, I want to thank D'Andre Ferby, but as we like to call him D, as he's allowed us to. And Merry Christmas to you all. And like I said, I just want to thank D for coming on. Alex, glad to have you again, buddy.
Yes, always glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.
No
man.
problem. Thank you for being on, Dave. For real, thank you.
Appreciate
Most
you.
definitely.
And just so you know how we end the show, we always say go Tops. So like always, guys,
Go Tops.
Hey, thanks, D. Appreciate you, buddy, for coming on the show. He's off.